we probably just bottomed out. Why? Because Black Swan number 3 just arrived. What's up with the manipulation lately? What's going on? Not only with exchanges, the news, and all sorts of stuff, but Twitter accounts as well. From Unusual Whales, breaking: China has officially banned cryptocurrency trading, mining, and related services. But wait, well, readers added context they thought people might want to know. China banned crypto back in 2021, so why is this account saying it now? Strange, huh? Possibly. And by the way, this news, right, this quote-unquote Black Swan event comes right at the bottom. Right here. It literally got dropped right here, guys, at the exact bottom. Strange. Now, I didn't even know this, to be honest. I knew about it a long time ago, but I thought it was lifted. But China's top regulators banned crypto trading and mining, sending Bitcoin tumbling, right? This was back in 2021, guys. Now, China's most powerful regulators on Friday intensified a crackdown on cryptocurrencies with a blanket ban on all crypto transactions, mining, hitting Bitcoin and other major coins, and pressuring crypto and blockchain related stocks. Now, what's crazy to me is that this ban, by the way, which is still in place right now, it includes buying and selling cryptos, operating exchanges, even using foreign platforms inside China via VPNs. Every financial service connected to crypto is strictly banned. Wow. That is what you call nasty work from China. Nasty work by China. They're about to miss out on this, on the greatest generational transfer of wealth known to mankind, right? There are people, the Chinese people over there, guys. So when that gets lifted, I'm guessing hopefully soon, the amount of money that will be pouring into cryptos will be astronomical. Okay. So are you guys ready? Guess what? We called it. Once again, we called the bottom on cryptos and the top of this chart for the USDT, the dominance chart. Why? 3:41 p.m. XRP, they're about to moon it back up. 4-hourly bearish divergence on the USDT, that dominance chart. This was more than 12 hours ago. Let's check where were we at more than 12 hours ago. Literally right here, guys. Literally right there. Okay, that's when we said the bottom is probably in. At least we're gonna have a temporary bounce, and we are, right? Because of the 4-hourly chart. Whatever. Remember, if this dumps, cryptos are pumping, and if this pumps, cryptos are dumping, right? RSI overbought, and look at the 12 hours. It struck. It went to overbought as well, right? The last time this happened, by the way, right here, the top, right here at the top as well, or at least a short-term top. So it seems like the bounce is happening as we speak, and it's probably going to go higher, head higher. RSI on the XRP 12-hour oversold. Bitcoin oversold. What does that mean? Hopefully momentum is coming back right now as we speak, right? Not to mention, look at this. Isn't this fantastic? Where are we holding? Exactly where I told you guys we're going to hold. Most likely 113K, right? So easy, guys. It truly is. And right now we're going back above this support line. Beautiful. The pump is imminent. That's so crazy how this news comes about, because it was fake news literally at the bottom. Like, what? That's how you guys know, like, terrible news marks bottoms. Euphoric news marks tops. Okay, for next time, just remember. So don't sell. Actually, you should have bought, right? You should have gone all in. Here's a side note, and this is extremely important. In about 12 hours from when I'm recording this video, 8 p.m. EST tonight on Sunday, what happens, guys? I'm truly excited. Truly. The 3 weekly candle closes. On the regular candles, it's not going to be above, but on the hike and the sheaves, guys, it will be above. Okay? Fantastic news, and that's for all charts, right? which would mean they have to keep pumping these cryptos. Not to mention, $1.5 billion in liquidations in the last 48 hours. Don't get shaken up on this dip as well, right? So it seems like so many players just got their trades liquidated, right? Because everyone was overly too bullish. And they shook everyone out, guys. They took everyone out. Now they're going to pump it back up again. This whale just opened a $45 million long position on Bitcoin. So obviously he's bullish. Whales are turning back to becoming bulls. Even President Trump says donations will boom in 5 or 6 months from now.
Wait till you see the boom that this country goes through in 5 or 6 months from now with all of the things that are happening.
So 5 to 6 months from now, America will see a boom, right? With the markets, with the economy, with it all. Which means to me, cryptos are going to boom in 5 to 6 months from now. That's towards the end of the year. Interesting. You know why that's so strange? Because that actually matches up with the Federal Reserve starting the money printer back up again, right? QE, quantitative easing, guys, where interest rates will be very low, if not at 0. So he knows, right? This is basically after the recession occurs here in a few months, and then they're going to start the money printer and everything will just skyrocket from then and into 2026. Then the collapse will happen in that year. Crazy, huh? Go all in. Hold on for dear life. Don't sell.
Power plants are getting ready to start built. They're going to be built by record numbers. The AI stuff is crazy. What's going on there? Billions and billions, trillions of dollars is being, and it's all going to start very shortly now. It's amazing. We've taken in almost $17 trillion of investments in this country, and wait till you see what happens. We're going to have a successful country like I think we've never had before. Wait.
It's just going to get better and better. Why? Because Bitcoin will 200x from here. This is what Jack is saying. Wait, Bitcoin is going after a $400 to $500 trillion market, and it's only $2 trillion. Remember what we talked about. The only way Satoshi Nakamoto can sell his 1 million Bitcoins is if Bitcoin in itself did what? Went to 500k to a million this cycle. Okay? Then there will be enough liquidity for him to sell. That's why this thing, even at the short term it goes down, it doesn't matter. It's going to go up like that. Okay? It's going to go up like that. That's before the collapse though. Right? Just remember, XRP is bullish until the collapse. That's all you have to know. Extremely bullish, that is. How high will we go? Let's listen to this.
You see the price of Bitcoin heading?
Higher.
How much higher?
A lot higher. My general framework from the highest level is human beings collectively, we own about $900 trillion worth of stuff. That's equities, the things behind us, real estate, precious metals, fine art, all of the things that we own. Half of that we're using as a savings account. We're owning the portfolio of companies or the art or the house to actually try and persist wealth into the future. I think Bitcoin's going after that market. It's going after a market of $400 to $500 trillion worth, and right now it's $2.5 trillion. So I think in purchasing power terms, Bitcoin can go up 100 to 200 times more from here.
All right, so we know Bitcoin obviously is the most.
Yeah, they're talking about a $10 million to $20 million Bitcoin, and people say XRP will not go to $100. Yeah. Come on, guys. Though, the beautiful part is, the way we'll reach those crazy heights is by injecting an S-ton of liquidity from every part of the world. This is why we need China to unban that crypto policy, right? We need them to lift it. China is injecting liquidity into the markets. Now imagine if they injected liquidity straight into crypto, right? Think about that. Because right now it's just in the markets. If they plugged it in straight into crypto, that would be astronomical, right? But again, beautiful injections, it's going higher, right? That's the only way. It could only go higher. Fox Business just showed live on TV that global M2 is exploding. Bitcoin will follow soon. It's coming. Exactly, right? It's only one way, and that's up until the collapse.
One interesting correlation has been Bitcoin and the money supply. Is that integral? Like, hey, we got the chart. It's pretty easy. You don't have to be a chart.
The crazy part is this is all before the money printing even begins, right? Imagine when the money printing begins, Bitcoin is heading to 1 million this cycle. Then it will collapse. That's just my belief. This isn't financial advice. Please like today's video. Thank you.
to see, okay, they kind of trade in tandem here.
Well, one thing we know is that they're going to continue to debase, and liquidity has been at all-time highs, and that's largely because we're running these massive fiscal deficits. And guess what? They're going to continue. The projections made for the rest of the year is that we're going to be basically issuing about $18 trillion worth, or $18 billion worth of debt per day for the rest of the year, for the rest of 2025. So the thing you need is the one thing immune to currency debasement, immune to inflation, and that is Bitcoin.
So, you know, I've got to...
There's a narrative, right? It's a safe haven asset. By the way, it always catches up and follows global liquidity. That means 185K in the coming months. You guys realize this, right? That's probably before the recession occurs. We are so back. Hottest country. The Democrats are... Now we are so back. And the naysayers is the hottest country anywhere in the world. Make America great again. That's funny how everyone sold the bottom, but publicly traded Sharpland Gaming buys another 15,000 Bitcoin, or I mean Ethereum, worth $54 million. Will just bought 3,000 Ethereum worth $10 million. This was all now, today, when the dip occurred. Mega Ethereum wills are buying the dip. Look at that. When a dip just occurred, guys, the ETH addresses are expanding, exploding, right? But this has been throughout the pump, though it's not stopping, right? That's literally vertical accumulation for Ethereum while everyone is so bearish, right? Why is that the case? We see a golden cross just occurred with altcoins, right? They tricked you. That means that's upcoming, guys. The craziest pump known to mankind. And this is why Tom Lee is saying Ethereum will head to 15K in the near future, right? Due to tokenization, the blockchain in itself exploding with a lot of value and traction, right? A lot of transactions. So, do we know what's happening here, right? It's clear as day, guys, that institutions, the markets, everyone believes we're going to go higher. And we are pumping right now. Okay? We literally called the bottom, by the way. We literally called the bottom to a T. Okay? Yeah. I mean, what are the chances of that? Okay? So, let's see what happens next. But again, obviously hold on for dear life. I think we're going to pump from here on out. And we'll see what happens next. This is some financial advice. Let's go. What do we say? So face me says. See ya.